Is Trey Lance going to have a breakout season like Patrick Mahomes did in his first year as a starter? ESPN thinks so. I'm your host, Hyde, and welcome to Hide and Seek Sports. Hello, all you beautiful and amazing people. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to the show. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, so you get notified anytime I drop a new video. Smash that like button and share this video on all social media platforms. This video is brought to you by the Hide and Seek Media Store. Get the merch link in the description below, and if you use code 1776, I'll give you 20% off your entire order. So, Jimmy Garoppolo is out as the starter of the San Francisco 49ers and more than likely will not be with the team at the start of the season, because Kyle Shanahan has complete and utter faith that Trey Lance has the ability to take this team to the heights that Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't. Now, I believe the reason why Trey Lance was drafted was because he could take this offense to another level that even Robert Griffin III couldn't take it. And we're about to see some dynamic offensive plays come out of this team throughout this season. Now, that's assuming everybody stays healthy and can make it to the end of the season. But we've seen throughout the years that George Kittle has, injury issues and will push his body beyond the limits to get a first down or to make the play, get that touchdown, and do whatever the team needs. And while I love a player like that, we really need that kind of effort in the second half of the season more so than in the first half. But with this new quarterback, I have a feeling that a lot of these skill players are going to push themselves a little harder and a little farther to make that play, so that this team can thrive and this quarterback can really explode in this offense. Because I really believe that this is going to be the most potent and powerful offense in the NFL this year. You start with this running game, and when you add Trey Lance as another running option, it opens up so much of the playbook that you could not do with Jimmy Garoppolo. And I'm going to say this, and some people may call me crazy, right? But go back and look at the tapes, right? Go back and look at Kyle Shanahan's interviews when Jimmy Garoppolo first got traded to the team. Go look at his interviews when they signed him to that big contract, right? Look at his body language. Don't listen to his answers so much as watch his body language, watch his facial expressions, okay? Kyle Shanahan was never sold on Jimmy Garoppolo being the quarterback that could run this offense the way he wanted it run, and was never sold that Jimmy Garoppolo could be the guy that wins a Super Bowl for this team. I would venture to guess that he was surprised that Jimmy got them to the Super Bowl in 2019, in the 2019 season, losing it to Patrick Mahomes in the third and fourth quarter after being up on them and being an interception away from winning that thing. But Jimmy couldn't get it done in those clutch moments. And I'm not saying that Trey Lance has got the experience or the know-how to get those things done in those moments either. But when a pocket breaks down, Jimmy collapses. When a pocket breaks down for Trey Lance, there are options. He can run outside the pocket. He can scramble and get you 5 yards. And as we've seen, he knows how to slide and get down, so he's not going to take the punishment that quarterbacks like Cam Newton and Andrew Luck and even Robert Griffin III took when they were, the running options in their offenses. So you start this offense off with the run and build it off a great run scheme, which Kyle Shanahan and Mike Shanahan have put together beautifully. And when you have the best left tackle in the NFL right now, and an offensive line that can hold up against a decent pass rush, it's going to be very, very interesting to see just how explosive this offense can be. Now, like I said, you start with the run game. That opens the passing game tremendously, because now they have to put a safety down in the box. You have to have 8 men down in the box because you have to account for Trey Lance. You have to contain defense, right? So you got to keep your pass rushers leashed up a little bit, and they can't just go flying up the field, because if a Trent Williams gets you pushed too far out, well, there's a wide open lane for a running back or a running quarterback like Trey Lance to scramble out for 5 to 8 yards and get to the sideline. So, you got to be careful. But that puts a lot of one-on-one coverage on the outside. And with Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel getting one-on-one coverage, that is a joke. One missed tackle, and those guys are gone for extra yardage. And no team in the NFL had more yards after the catch than the 49ers. And you add when you open the passing game up even more, because you have a running quarterback who can scramble and get loose, the yards after the catch are going to be crazy high this year with this team. Now, like I said, this is all assuming that everybody stays healthy and they can keep the train rolling and keep Trey Lance's confidence up, right? Which that's Kyle Shanahan's job in the first few games. Give him easy reads. One, if the first read isn't there, tuck it down, take the check down, or scramble out and get you a couple of yards. Build his confidence up. But from everything that the players are saying, he's ready. He's ready to take this leader's position. He's ready to take this team all the way. And he's got the support of all of the team and coaches. That to me is more so of the situation, right? That's Trey Lance going into a great situation and having the confidence in your abilities because of the players you have around you, right? I would imagine that if Mac Jones or Zach Wilson or any of those other quarterbacks like that came out in the draft with him, if they'd have went to San Francisco, that they'd have the same leadership bravado about them, because they're in a great position. A good offensive line, a great running game, good wide receivers, a decent, defense. That front seven on the defense is great. The secondary is getting better. And so it's, you're in a really great position. You're on a team that made the playoffs last year and lost in the NFC Championship game to the now Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams. So, yeah, if I'm a quarterback going into that position, I'm thinking, this is going to be great. Of course, I'm going to have the confidence and bravado about me to be a leader in amongst those guys, because Kyle Shanahan has the head coach has the confidence in me, right? So why shouldn't I have the confidence in me if him and all of these awesome and great players have confidence in me? I should have it too. So of course I would have it. But I want to read this story from ESPN, because they're the ones saying that Trey Lance is going to be the only supernova breakout candidate this year, right? So this story here from ESPN, this story from NBC Sports. Why ESPN ranks Lance as NFL's only supernova breakout candidate. So, and this was written August 16th. Less than a month away from officially beginning his first season as the 49ers starting quarterback, the Trey Lance hype train continues to gain steam. On Monday, ESPN's Bill Barnell ranked the top candidates to rise as breakout stars in the 2022 NFL season. 22-year-old Lance was slotted in the top tier, dubbed bench to supernova, all by himself. The biggest reason Barnell cited for predicting Lance's lonely leap to stardom was his partnership with Kyle Shanahan. Since Shanahan took over the 49ers sideline in 2017, the team arguably has unleashed the most creative offense in the league, propped up by versatile players like wideback Deebo Samuel and tight end George Kittle. But featuring pocket passer Jimmy Garoppolo as quarterback might have limited Shanahan's creative juices. Having the athletic Lance extending plays with his legs could unlock a new level of the 49ers offense. As Barnell writes, defenses recently have pivoted to charging the quarterback on bootleg plays to limit the possibility of explosive passes down the field. Advantage Lance. I'm not sure if Shanahan saw this on tape in 2020 or saw it coming as a solution in the years to come, but having a mobile quarterback like Lance is the ultimate weapon against this defense, Barnell wrote. Left one-on-one against Garoppolo, most defensive ends were able to blow up plays. Left alone against Lance, those same ends are going to get embarrassed in open space. He can run past those ends and continue the boot concept, either scrambling for significant gains or finding receivers at one of the three different levels. The threat of Lance puts weak side ends in a torture chamber. The early career arc of Lance is comparable to Kansas City Chiefs star quarterback Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes, number 10 overall pick of the 2017 NFL Draft, sat behind Alex Smith as a rookie and watched as the team cruised to a 10-6 record. He took over under center the following season, surrounded by those same Chiefs weapons in Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. He learned under the tutelage of veteran coach Andy Reid. Mahomes went on to win the 2018 NFL MVP in his first year as a starting quarterback. Likewise, Lance is the perfect fit for Shanahan, whose best quarterback as an offensive play caller has been Matt Ryan, Barnell wrote. Lance unlocks elements of the offense that simply weren't possible in years past and makes life easier for everyone else on the field. He gets to play with the league's best left tackle and the third best set of playmakers in football heading into this season. Now, I do want to say one thing. I do not agree with Barnwell when he says that Shanahan's best coaching was with Matt Ryan. Okay, Matt Ryan did win an MVP under Shanahan and did go to a Super Bowl with Shanahan in the same year, but lost that Super Bowl after being up 24-3 and just couldn't get it done in the second half. Now, I don't know if that was Shanahan's play calling or maybe that was Matt Ryan not wanting to do the plays that Shanahan was calling and second-guessing Shanahan. I don't know what all of that was about in that crucial meltdown, the biggest meltdown in Super Bowl history. But I would argue that Kyle Shanahan's best quarterback coaching year was 2012 when RG3 won Rookie of the Year under that offense. Took the Washington Redskins to the playoffs, even though they did lose. I would say that was a pretty great year. RG3 was a electric quarterback, and I think Trey Lance is going to be the same thing. So, really, it's not really even an argument. I don't see anybody arguing that Trey Lance isn't going to have a good season. I think everybody believes he's going to have a good season because of the weapons he has around him, right? And the team that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have built over their years together at San Francisco. And I have to say, as a 49ers fan, when they first came to the team, I was very excited. And then their very first pick was Solomon Thomas in the same draft that you could have gotten Patrick Mahomes. Now, I understand that the team wasn't ready for that yet, and that you may not have gotten the players you have now had you gone that route. So, in hindsight, yes, you could have picked a better player than Solomon Thomas, but picking Patrick Mahomes may have sent you down a different path completely, and we may not have seen George Kittle in a Niners uniform or Deebo Samuel in a Niners uniform. And so that I am thankful for. But I have to say, I think we are going to see a new version of the 2012 Washington Redskins offense. You're going to see a lot of pistol formations this year. You're going to see a lot of zone reads, zone run options. There's going to be a lot of bootlegs and movement of the court. I mean, Kyle Shanahan is notorious for moving wide receivers and tight ends and running backs. Now you're going to get quarterback movement, after the ball is snapped, rolling out to the left, to the right, running the football. So it's going to be very, very hard for defenses to defend this offense. And I'm very, very excited to see what they are capable of. Now, I don't know that Trey can win an MVP like Patrick Mahomes did in his second year and first year as a starter. But I think Trey Lance has the potential to lead this team not to an MVP, but to a Super Bowl and maybe even a Super Bowl MVP. Now, I know that's crazy, right? How could I say that when this kid's had one full year of starting in college and he played 2 or 3 games last year in the regular season? Because I believe in Kyle Shanahan. That's why I say it. That's why I say that Trey Lance has the potential to lead the San Francisco 49ers to a Super Bowl victory and win a Super Bowl MVP because of Kyle Shanahan and because of the team that they have built for this kid. Not for this kid specifically, but because of the team they have built. This team is ready. And they are putting all their eggs in Trey Lance because this offense is going to be 10 times more deadly than it was with Jimmy Garoppolo. So, if you've made it all the way to the end of the video, I appreciate you guys watching. It really does mean a lot to me that you've made it this far. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, so you get notified anytime I drop a new video. Smash that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video, the topic, and the channel. I really love engaging with my viewers, so feel free to fire away. But the best thing you guys can do if you want to help me out is smash that like button and share this video. I appreciate everything you guys are doing, and I will catch you later. Peace.